Hi, I'm Dr. Jeff Glad, Chief Medical Officer of FullScript, the leading healthcare platform for providers to prescribe healthcare's best supplements, drive better patient outcomes, and scale practice growth with unparalleled efficiency. As a healthcare provider, I know that finding time to stay up to date on the latest trends and research in modern medicine can be a daunting task. That's why I'm excited to share a cutting-edge supplement course our team of medical experts worked on in collaboration with A4M and several industry experts, designed to help you navigate supplements and make more informed clinical decisions. Throughout the 16 hours of content, we'll give you the clinical context you'll need to confidently recommend supplements to your patients. The A4M Supplement Certification course is the perfect starting point or clinical update for optimizing your supplement treatment plans to ensure the best possible outcomes for your patients. Go to www.a4m.com/supplement-certification-course.html and use the promo code podcast20 at checkout to get a 20% discount. Enroll today and elevate your whole person care.
Welcome to Redefining Medicine, an intimate and personalized program that illustrates a different side of the practice of medicine. Our in-depth conversations will focus on the physicians and practitioners who are redefining medicine through their integrative, functional, and holistic approach to health and well-being. Our host for Redefining Medicine is Dr. Erica Schwartz. For more than 20 years, Dr. Erica has been at the forefront of advanced patient care, taking the best from conventional and integrative medicine and applying them to prevent disease. Dr. Erica is a distinguished A4M faculty member in disciplines ranging from hormone therapy, peptide therapy, and IV nutritional support.
Hi, we're here at the Spring Congress in West Palm Beach, and it's an amazing Congress. And I have the honor of introducing and having a talk with our keynote speaker, Maddy Dychtwald. And she's going to talk about her book, but she is a force for women's good. She's one of the people we need to take care of women, to help us get our rightful places in life. So, Maddy, it's a pleasure.
It's such a pleasure to be here with you. Thanks for having me.
Oh my God, thank you for showing up here. So, you have a new book.
I do.
It's called Ageless Aging.
That's right.
But that's like kind of the least of what you're about.
It kind of is. I've been in this field of aging, longevity, and retirement for, close to 40 years. So, if you do the math, you can figure out.
You don't look it.
Well, thank you.
She doesn't look it, right?
That's about ageless
Amazing.
aging, right?
Yeah.
You too. I mean, listen, that's a whole other conversation we can have another time.
Well, we're contemporaries, which is great.
Exactly.
Because you know what? You don't have to age and be sick and gross and not feel good and be a victim of the system that keeps you there in fear.
Yeah, let's be honest about it. As we get older, aging is a little bit like playing dodgeball. We're dodging those health issues and chronic conditions and what have you as we get older. And what we need to do is recognize the fact that, number one, women have won the longevity lottery. We live, on average, 6 years longer than men. Yay, that's great news. More years to enjoy life, have time with family and friends, just reinvent ourselves, just do all kinds of cool, super interesting things. But there is a dark side. And the dark side, of course, there's a dark side, right, is that there is a health span, which is the number of healthy years you live, gender gap between men and women. Women, we're just not doing so great when it comes to health. We want prevention, but in fact, on average, women spend the last 12 to 14 years dealing with health problems. And it doesn't have to be that way.
Right. Why do you think it is that way these days?
Because there's some old stereotypical myths in place. Many women think, men too, that my genetics are really what's going to happen to me. They kind of suggest I can't do anything about it. when in fact the most recent science from Calico Labs, for instance, tells us that up to 90% of our health and wellness is in our control.
Sure.
We have agency over our health and wellness.
But we don't know that.
But we don't know that, and we need to get the word out.
So why don't we know that at this point? Why do you think we don't know that?
I think there's a variety of reasons. I think that number one would be that there's these myths that we've believed in forever and ever, and no one has taken the time to express the real truth. Right. So here's the real truth. We're in charge.
Of course.
Second, I think that healthcare today is really about sick care. And sick care is about once you have something, what do you do to take care of it? And by the way, that costs a lot more money, a lot more time, and is really devastating to a person and their families and their friends as they're coping with a horrible condition like diabetes or heart disease, stroke. I mean, these are cancer. Alzheimer's is the worst, especially for women. I know it runs in my family. My mom, we all have it. Women though are twice as likely to suffer from cognitive decline as men, and yet up until recently, science was telling us, no, there's nothing you can do about it. It's your genetics. But as you well know, that is not true. What's good for your heart is also good for your brain, and that's actually new news, which is crazy. But beyond crazy. So I personally think exercise is kind of like a cognitive cocktail.
Of course. But you know what? You personally, everybody. The fact that we still have to say it, that you need the pieces, that you need diet, exercise, stress management, sleep.
That's right.
Hormones, that you need these pieces to have your life to be optimal.
That's right.
For you to be able to share your wisdom those years.
That's right.
It's amazing because you know what? We've learned a lot. And to become invisible or sick is really horrible.
Terrible, terrible. One of the women I interviewed over 100 scientists, researchers, academicians for Ageless Aging. And one of the people I interviewed is an aging expert, been in the field for 30, 40 years. Her name is Imani Woody, and she's from Washington. She's obviously a woman, but also she's a gay woman, and she's Black. And she said that ageism was worse for her than either gender discrimination or racial discrimination or her discrimination because she was gay. And she called it just what you just said. She called it erasure.
Yeah, disappearance.
Crazy.
You know, the interesting thing is that, fortunately, I can't say that about myself. But because I think ageism has actually helped me.
Okay,
because
say more.
It proved, and I'll tell you why, because it's proven that what I've been doing for 30 years and what I've been saying for 30 years happens to be true, which has been like kind of a redemption. But sexual discrimination has been horrible. I always wondered what would happen to me, what would have happened had I not been discriminated for my sexuality, for being a woman.
Yeah. Woman doctor.
And a woman doctor, can you imagine? And, you know, I went to Downstate, which was a very liberal-minded, open-minded school that had 35 women out of a class of 200, which was amazing in the 70s. But the thing is that they still discriminated against me because I'm a woman.
Yeah, it's totally unfair. I mean, the healthcare system as we know it today was designed by men, well-meaning men for sure, but designed by men.
Why do you have to say that? Because I'm not sure it's true. I'm not sure it's true.
Okay, well,
they don't know any better, probably.
Maybe. They weren't meaning any harm, and I guess do no harm is one of, but anyway.
You mean the Hippocratic Oath?
Yeah, the Hippocratic Oath.
I don't know.
Right, well,
I don't know about
but, and it was designed for men primarily. Women's health was considered a sidetrack.
You know what's interesting? Men don't go to the doctor.
I know.
You
It's
know,
crazy.
it took us literally 20 years of practice to actually get half the practice of men, right?
Yes.
Because men don't go to the doctor. How come women get omitted from the studies? All the stuff that you're doing is men directed, and women get nothing.
I know. Right?
When women go to the doctor.
I know.
Explain that.
And women, believe it or not, they make 80% of all healthcare decisions in families.
Sure.
And wait a minute, they're also the ones who purchase healthcare
Right.
and wellness products and services
Right.
in far higher numbers
Of course.
than men.
Explain that to me.
I would love to be able to.
Well, I think we need to change it.
Yeah, we
because,
do.
you know, the healthcare system, as you know, and, you know, disease-centered, whatever, labels, whatever you want to call it, is all fear-based. And if you're afraid that you're missing a cancer, that you're missing something, you're going to do whatever you're told by whoever you see the authority as your provider. The truth is that that provider basically has learned what the algorithm is in public health and has nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
So
That's
how do you get,
unfortunate.
and women are more susceptible to fear.
Yeah, they are. I
So
agree.
how do you eliminate that?
Well, I think that you need to let women know that they have agency over their health, that they are in charge, that physicians, with all due respect, are an important part of your healthcare team, but you're in charge. You're the one making the decisions. And go into the doctor's office. First of all, interview them. Find out if they're the right fit for you. And once you're done doing that interview process, go in with a list of questions. You might even want, you're laughing.
Well, you clearly didn't read Don't Let Your Doctor Kill You, which is one of my books that actually I wound up talking at a couple of medical schools. I was invited, which I didn't expect. When you write a book called Don't Let Your Doctor Kill You, that it's really not the doctor's fault because
No, I
they don't
agree.
know any better. And you know, it's really amazing that women are still scared, that women will actually still defer to somebody who doesn't live in your body.
Yeah,
The
that's
doctor
crazy.
doesn't live in your body. So
I think that's insane. I think that we need to, first of all, recognize that there is this, and this is based on the research I did for my book, speaking to the top experts, you know, doctors, many doctors like yourself, also academicians, researchers, neuroscientists, talked to them and found out their insider information, like what they don't normally talk about, and how that can really transform things. And what I realized very quickly is that it's not just about one thing. There's this holistic bouquet of ingredients that all work together. They're not in silos. So you talked about sleep, which is super important, right? Sleep is influenced by our hormones, influenced by what we eat, influenced by our exercise. Stress, by the way, I think finances are part of this holistic recipe because if you don't have your financial house in order, that causes stress, causes disease. You may not even be able to afford to pay for it. So these ingredients all work together. And I think women are very open to the idea that, oh yes, not only do I possibly feel like I have agency over my health, here's some tools that I can use that are within my control, like what I eat, okay? Eliminate sugar, eliminate alcohol and the seed oils and ultra-processed foods. It's not that complicated. Add in the good stuff. Not that
Eat real
complicated.
food.
Eat real food, not too much, mostly plants.
right. As you get older, the less is better.
Exactly.
Right, but we know all of these things.
We do.
And still, we'd rather take a pill.
Easier.
I think you have to keep on going out there and teaching us how to take care of ourselves and how to empower us and give us the confidence
That's right.
to really be the best you
Yeah,
can.
confidence
And
is a big part of it.
you're an example.
And so are you. I mean, that's what's so great. And I would really like to empower you
Thank you.
to keep doing the work you're doing. You're hands-on, making a difference. And to me, that's incredible.
Thank you. But by the way, your hands on too.
Thank you. Thank you so much.